Welcome back to Observing the Sabbath. I am your host, Nathaniel Molnar, and we are continuing on through our look at Sabotage from 1975, the sixth studio album from Black Sabbath. We have already covered Hole in the Sky, Don't Start, Too Late, Symptom of the Universe, and Megalomania, and we are continuing on through with The Thrill of It All. And this is, I've mentioned it before, but this is one of my absolute favorite Sabbath songs, and I think it is the most underappreciated, under-talked about Sabbath song that there is, at least when we're looking at the original 8 studio albums. Even in Sabbath circles, I find you don't really have people talking about the songs. Like, I think there's multiple layers. You have the songs that most people who are like, oh yeah, I know Iron Man, I know War Pigs, I know Paranoid. There are the songs that they don't know, but like the more hardcore Sabbath people, the songs that they know. But then you have the next layer of songs that the more hardcore Sabbath people, they don't even talk about. And it's not that they don't know it or anything like that, or that there's any sort of level of fandom of you're not a true fan if you don't like this or that. But it's more, there are certain songs that just nobody talks about. And The Thrill of It All is one of those songs that not many people talk about. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Because The Thrill of It All is phenomenal. And it's a top 5 Sabbath song for me. Absolute top 5. I love this song. But we're just going to dive right into it. And you guys know the drill. We're going to listen to the song. This isn't a typical reaction video where I'm listening to this for the first time. I know all these songs, I've listened to them countless times, so I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and my opinions in real time as we listen to the song together and kind of break it down. So, without any further ado, let's dive right in. This is The Thrill of It All. And now. Just great opening. Nothing like just an awesome bit of Sabbath instrumental to start your song, to start your day with. And there's so many great little riffs throughout this whole song. It's just packed. I love this whole beginning part because it completely changes up within the next, minute. But you get this nice little bit, and especially if you're looking at it in terms of the album, you know, you've just come off the A side with the end of Megalomania, so you get this nice little prologue bit, kind of bringing you right back into the album after you flip over the record. I love this bit. Yeah! How badass is this? Ozzy's voice is awesome on this song. Oh, look at that range. Or listen, rather. It's just like a gritty, gnarly riff right here, and Ozzy's voice is just, he's hitting those high points. Not quite as high of points as Symptom of the Universe, but man, he hits those notes. Freedom! Man, he hits him. And the drumming is great in this. Like, let's not overlook the drumming. Bill Ward, knocks that out of the park with this song. Do-do-do. and then it kind of goes up a little bit. See, what I love about this song is how many points it changes. So you have that whole beginning part, which is just almost like a guitar solo, but they're kicking off with it. And then you have the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like that whole part. And then you have this little bit as it then transitions to the next half of the song, which is, I think, my favorite part of the song, this whole part. Because it just, it's like, phew, takes off, and it's a completely different song. A little more upbeat. And Ozzy's whole part here, I just love. Love it. Love it. This whole part. See, alright, so I've talked about how there's so many songs on this album are just completely halfway through switch up and it's a different song. This is one of the key ones too. You had it with Symptom of the Universe, you had it with Megalomania, you have it again here with Thrill of It All. And you really kind of have three parts, but the most drastic part is that halfway through where it just goes up and now it's this part. Do 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 do. Oh, it's such a good song. Tony has his little mini solos. I really find it funny that he has essentially his solo is the beginning of the song. That's something they really get to do, like especially with this album, is really just break down formulas and rearrange things and do things in a completely different way. Go against convention. And I also love the difference in the tone from these two halves. You have the grittier, it's a little bit darker. It's and then you kind of have this, you know, it's a lot more. You kind of have the contrast, so similar, not as stark of a contrast as Symptom in the Universe, but along those same lines where the first half of Symptom is a lot deeper and darker and heavier, and then you kind of get a much more lighter second half, and they have a very similar, in the same way that they're breaking up formula and breaking up convention, they're kind of having a similar formula for a lot of these songs for Sabotage, and I think it's making for some great songs. A nice little fade out here. The most underappreciated, under-talked about, under-discussed Sabbath song that there is, in my personal opinion, Thrill of It All. I almost call it Thrill of the Universe. Thrill of It All. Love it. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's such a great song. Now, the story behind this song, which is really interesting, is that I guess, to the best of my understanding, and if there's any details here that are wrong, please correct me in the comment section. My understanding is that they recorded this song in the studio, and when they went to go listen to it, play it back, it was just static. Something must have happened in the recording process where it didn't record them playing the song. So they had to go in and play again, and I believe they did in like one take, or, you know, like they just bare minimum recorded the song, boom, that's it. And they've never played it on stage because they were all just so frustrated by the process of that they had to do it again. Like they put, like, can you imagine, Sabbath is like, all right, we're going to sit down, we're going to record Thrill of It All. They put their all, no pun intended, they put their all into the song, they give it everything they've got, and then to find out that it didn't record. It has happened a couple of times, not necessarily with Observing the Sabbath, where I've gone to record something, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. What a great episode of this podcast I'm doing. This is phenomenal. This is great. Oh, it wasn't recording. Well, and I gotta say, for them to be like, well, just boot and rally, and like, we're gonna just do it again, because I would not record another episode of a podcast if it wasn't recording, because I just gave it everything I had, all the opinions I had, everything I was thinking I put out there, and I can't recreate that without feeling phony. But you know, I guess with music, the whole point of music is to recreate it every single day, every single night when you perform it. So I guess there's a little element of that in it. But to props to them that they went right back in there and they just banged it out, recorded it again, and then they were just so frustrated by the process of having to do it again that they never wanted to deal with the song again, and so they never played it live. But I mean, I can only imagine what the first take of the song sounded like, because the one that they ended up going with, Ozzy's voice is just some of the best. Not quite as good as he is at the high points of Symptom of the Universe. Like, I think that is, if you were to pinpoint the best that Ozzy's voice has ever sounded, I think Symptom of the Universe is it. But on this album, I mean, a close second is Thrill of It All. Like, some of the notes that he hits in the song are just phenomenal in his tone. The way he kind of fills in the beginning part when it's the da-na-na-na-na, because you're not having like a ton of instrumentals. He's kind of taking the forefront. And then when you get to the second half of the song, when the instrumental part of the song is kind of coming back in, it's a little bit louder, he's kind of blending in more to the background. So you really see in this song how versatile his voice is, and not just his range, but how he uses his voice and his tone and his cadence to really to balance the song and to kind of fit into where the song needs him to be. Sometimes he's the forefront, sometimes he's more in the back, whatever the song requires him to do. Tony, of course, excellent here. I mean, he pulls out a bunch of great riffs. I love the whole beginning part. He just kind of goes nuts with the guitar a little bit. And like I was saying during the song, a great little intro to the B-side of the record. You have almost like a nice little interlude of like an instrumental before you get into the next song. And I love the two starkly different riffs you have going on. The da-na-na-na-na, da-na. Like, that whole part is awesome. And then you get into the, it goes off, and it's, you have a little bit of keyboard there, which is great. You know, it fits really well. Geezer, of course, is always going great. And I don't talk enough about Geezer in these videos. And I think the biggest reason why that is that while I'm kind of discussing the song, I only have the one earbud in, and it's a little bit hard to hear the bass distinctly, unless if it's something like Hand of Doom or NIB, where it's the forefront. It's a little bit hard to distinctly hear the bass with only one earbud in, because you either with loud speakers or you got the two headphones on, that's when you can really hear how it's mixed, and you can hear the bass a little bit more distinctly. So I don't always actively hear the bass, but it's one of those things where if I listen to Sabbath like on speakers, there's so many times where I listen to Sabbath and then I just hear the bass and I just hear Geezer going for it, and I'm like, wow, I do not give Geezer enough credit, because it doesn't actively jump to my mind. But then I'll listen to something like Sweet Leaf and you just hear the bass like thumping and pounding. And you're like, wow, he's adding so much to the song right now. Or Fairies Wear Boots is another one I'll listen to. I'm like, wow, Geezer's really going for it. And so I feel bad, because with these videos, I don't necessarily hear the bass, and so I don't comment on it enough. But then later I'm listening to the song, I'm like, wow, he's really going for it. So Geezer, of course, always deserves a shout out. And the lyrics, of course, come from Geezer, and what great lyrics, you know, fitting in with the tone of this whole album of like a little bit more poetic, kind of similar to Bloody Sabbath as well, a little bit more poetic, a little bit more drawn out. But he delivers some great lyrics in this song as well. And Bill Ward, of course, has some great drum fills, especially when you get the da-na-na-na-na, da-na. He just kind of comes in. You get a little bit of like a Black Sabbath feel, the song Black Sabbath, a little bit of a Black Sabbath feel with some of the fills that he has. And of course, then when it goes into like the more high-key part of the song, he's right along with him. So overall, I think this is a great song. I think it's got great riffs. I think it's got great vocals, great lyrics, great everything across the board. And it just surprises me that not enough people talk about this song. Even within Sabbath circles, people do not talk about Thrill of It All. And I think it's a top 5 song for me. It's just phenomenal. And, you know, sometimes I'm driving and I'm like, ooh, you know, I need the nice little, like, adrenaline boost. I'm going to put on Thrill of It All, and next thing I know, I'm getting pulled over for speeding. Maybe I've made that joke before. Anyways, so those are my thoughts on Thrill of It All. I think it's phenomenal. I want to know from you guys, what do you think about Thrill of It All? Do you agree with me and everything I'm saying? Do you agree that it's a vastly underappreciated Sabbath song, or do you disagree? And do you think, you know what, no, it's just kind of one of those songs that's just an extra track on one of the albums that you don't necessarily think about, like maybe like a Cornucopia or a Tomorrow's Dream, or an After Forever, where it's a really good song, but it never stands out as one of the best of the album. It's just kind of like an additional song to help take you through one part of the album to another, which is a very valid point, and does not take away from how great songs like Cornucopia, Tomorrow's Dream, or After Forever are. I want to know all of your thoughts. Leave them all in the comments section below. Well, once again, I'm Nathaniel Molnar. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe for more content. And keep your eyes out for the next installment in our dive into Sabotage when we talk about the instrumental Super Czar. So until then, until we discuss Super Czar, thank you for watching.